What do you see yourself doing with us in the future?
I actually had Ray go ahead and train on the new onboarding person for the most part. So he
Yeah.
was with us about 6 months. He trained his replacement, moved on up. So it relieves a lot of the burden on us to try and figure that out.
Yeah. So your leverage is getting leverage. I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's super cool. It's been great.
All right, rock and roll.
What's going on?
Oh my goodness, dude, you've got the best title in the world, Business Optimization Strategist.
There we go.
I'm like, dang, man. Good to meet you. Tell me a little bit about yourself. I'm excited to get to know you.
I've been self-employed for 20 plus years now. This current venture with my business partner, Jared, is our main passion for the last 7+ years, working with people on establishing better credit and a better understanding of where their money's going.
Wow.
And, the work we do requires a lot of people. We're a high volume business because we're not charging people a lot of money for the coaching. We're working on a one-to-many, type of delivery system, which we allow people to schedule one-on-one consultations and things like that. But in order to address the masses, the one-to-many is key. And coming across you guys was a godsend because we have a lot of, especially this time, when COVID hit. Fortunately, I already had things set up to work like this. So everything's online these days, right? We're not dealing with servers and logins through Microsoft SQL servers or whatever. And now it's so easy in the cloud. So we just all went home, started working, and now with the team with you guys, they're just like any one of us. They don't feel like an outcast or like not part of the team because we're all working in this type of environment. So it's been really nice.
That's cool. Okay, so give the audience an update or kind of a view into what you guys actually do, the name of the business, like just a little quick, this is who we are.
Yeah, this is who we are. Well, Credilife is a financial wellness company, and we work directly with consumers to help them create a zero-sum budget. They work through the Money Mastery program along with our coaches and regular workshops that we hold in order to build a better understanding of where the money is going. And at the same time, we're working to improve credit through a better understanding of how to utilize credit to maximize point potential. Also, we slip in a little bit of credit repair to help people clean up some of those past mistakes, give you a launching pad to get a fresh start. And most of the people we work with are coming to us with a goal of home ownership. Some as simple as wanting to refinance out of a high interest auto loan to free up some more cash. But the homes is where the real passion is. Getting a backyard for your kids to play in, teeing people up in line with good loan officers and real estate agents that they can trust, rather than picking someone off a park bench. We've created relationships across the nation in order to make that happen and make it a nice, smooth transition for people. So we really love what we do.
Wow, what a cool business. What's been the hardest part about scaling that business up and like really delivering value to the consumer?
Really, the scaling part of it has maybe not been the struggle so much as the environment that we've worked hard in to create the awareness these days. Back in the day, we used to have live events. We'd have the first time homeowner workshop. We'd be with real estate agents and loan officers, and we'd all get together, some pizza and do that thing. And then one of the workshops we were doing for up in the cities for an adult education class, someone came up to us afterwards and said, "Hey, have you considered a Facebook group?" And this was 2017, I guess, and we weren't real familiar with that. So no. So we looked into it. We got one of our guys to launch a Facebook group. That group started to grow exponentially, and we're at 75,000 people now. And the hard thing has been to manage that community because people on the internet are not always sane. I learned a new term called trolls. There's people in there that don't have good intentions. They join the group and they act like they want your help, but really they're just there to cause trouble. So we quickly found out that it was going to be a lot harder than we expected in order to provide the education and information to people who didn't need professional service, but just needed insights to handle things on their own.
Yeah.
But we just try and police the environment as well as possible in order to keep it safe for the people that are there for good reasons, but that has been the hardest thing, maintaining sanity there. We've had coaches burn out, trying to keep the peace in there. And you're like, I have to give them like a 2-week leave of absence just to regain their sanity after, dealing with the madness that happens in there, because people who can come in under false pretenses with a fake name, they can say a lot of stuff to get under your skin.
Yeah. And so do you guys serve people on a national basis?
Yeah. And that's where the cool thing about the social media is we can reach a lot of people who don't necessarily need to hire someone, but are just looking for advice. We can give them generalities, it can't be very specific to their situation, but for the most part, we're running lives into the group on a regular basis, just providing good content and really gaining the trust with the community, because we know there's so many people that need the help, but don't really necessarily need to hire somebody. And we know through those efforts of giving back, it's working out well, that people are, coming to us for our full service, and it's created a nice symbiotic relationship for us.
Yeah, that's very cool. Okay, if somebody wanted to check out your business because they need some support or help, where would they go? And then we're going to dive into MyOutDesk and how you're using virtual assistants.
Yeah, well, our website is probably the best resource for getting to know Credilife. It's just credilife.com or yourcreditlife.com. But Credilife is without the T, which is why we have both, because we don't want people to get confused when they try typing in Credit Life. It's just Credilife, CREDILIFE.com. Our main Facebook group is Free Credit Repair Advice on Facebook. So you can search that, find that group, request to join. It's a good place to kind of get your feet wet and kind of understand what we're doing.
That's awesome. So when you first signed up for MyOutDesk, what was the problem that you wanted to solve? What was the thing that you came to us for help around?
Yeah, we because of the volume that's required to do the business, we really wanted to have the staff to take care of all of our clients as good as possible and have things segmented. For a long time, a lot of us were wearing multiple hats. We had a team of 10, 11 people is all, and managing different departments and handling little tasks here and there, which made it difficult to really focus our full attention, where our expertise was directly with a client.
Yes.
So we were able to bring on some administrative assistants through MyOutDesk. I've got someone who's fully responsible for handling all new intakes. So they're doing the data entry and getting the files set up for us.
Yep.
Tasking system to task it along. I've got someone from MyOutDesk handling all of our billing requests. We can make sure that those are handled in a timely manner if someone needs a payment moved. If you're not monitoring that real time every single day, you can end up missing something for somebody, and we wanted to be as accessible as possible. So it's really helped to stretch our dollar in order to make it work for our clients.
Well, and you're doing like the Henry Ford, like you're making a conveyor belt out of your clients. And
every place has a spot for a person, and every person has a place in the spot for that team, and we all work together to make sure, because if you don't set up the file right at the beginning, it's really not going to be a clean ride. We want to make sure that they understand and that we set the expectations correctly and move it through, especially in this industry. When you start talking about the credit repair aspect of it, people have been through other companies that are one or two people, working from home, writing letters, and the communication's really poor. So there's always that little, I'd say piece of doubt about that aspect of it. Not to mention that if we're working with people who have typically not known what they're doing with their money, not necessarily paid their bills on time, they often come to us feeling like a victim and worried about being ripped off. And so we want to make sure that they get those warm, fuzzy feelings and don't have that buyer's remorse right after they get into the program. So to hear from people right away is extremely important.
Yep. And it has allowed your US team, who I guess are experts and advisors and, somebody who, can really focus in and love in those clients. It's freed them up to just focus on client revenue, I'm guessing, and really.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, our guys, some of them have 20 plus years experience as a mortgage loan officer, banking people that have actually owned mortgage companies. So our 5 core coaches have a brilliant experience. And it was a waste of their expertise to have them following up on certain tasks that anybody really could do. So it's really helped to free it up and allow them to give back more to the community and to our clients.
And what was your experience with MyOutDesk from the moment you signed up to like today? Like, how did it feel? What did it look like? What advice would you give people who are considering it?
I mean, it's been a great experience from Chris, who introduced me, the sales guy that I've worked with. I don't know if you guys refer to them as a salesperson, but he still follows up every now and again to see how things are going.
Yep.
He was awesome to work with to help us understand what the possibilities were using MyOutDesk, especially since it's my understanding you guys are more focused on real estate and mortgage industry specific. We're kind of like outside of that realm, but we work so closely with them. I thought, this could be a nice fit, and we're moving into some real estate type endeavors. So we might have some opportunity there to get people who are more in tune with that to help manage that business. But then we also have, the cool thing is, as a small business owner, I think a lot of people can relate to not really wanting to deal with the human resource side of things with the employees. We've had our fair share of bad hires. And, even if someone's not working out, it's still really hard to think slip them and tell them, you got to go. So having a liaison at MyOutDesk, someone that I can speak to if we're having any issues, and I say only one of all of our hires has been a little bit of a struggle, but it's more about the stuff that I'm requiring of him is, a little bit advanced, because he's in the dev side of things, and he did a great job in the interview, but he's young and I think he's got some learning to do. So we're really trying to give him an opportunity to learn with us. But anyway, being able to reach out to Tessa, say, hey, look, this is what we're struggling with. Can you help me? I just want to make sure that we give him every opportunity he can to succeed. And they were actually able to put him in touch with some people who are familiar with Infusionsoft and Keep on your side, also WordPress. So he has also some ways to get a little bit of side training through MyOutDesk, which I didn't know was a possibility. But I think that's a nice added benefit that I think will help support him in his desire to do well for us.
Yep. So you have somebody that's just focused on your CRM, making sure all the pieces are working and everything's kind of flowing the way you want it. Is that kind of one of the focuses that you have?
That is something that I wanted this particular MyOutDesk agent to help us with, because we knew what we wanted to do, but didn't want to take all the time necessarily to do all those things. But for the most part, he's focused on WordPress. We had to get our website off of an old Adobe platform that was coming end of life this year and move it over to WordPress. This gentleman did struggle with that, but I, brought someone else, on to take care of it so that the person we hired from MyOutDesk can just kind of handle the maintenance of it. And it's worked out pretty well for like just some of the things that would take me time to do.
Yeah.
But he's still got a ways to go. I think now that's not his only task, though. I've got him doing some really basic Photoshop stuff that, I could do. I've also got another guy that helps with that. So he has that little basic thing he does every morning that is, very helpful regardless. But when he gets that side of things, we're just going to keep working on him until he's just a beast. And hopefully he doesn't leave us once we get him to that point.
No. It doesn't sound like he would leave you.
No, Tessa says he's extremely loyal and loves working for us. So that's why I really wanted to give him the opportunity.
Yeah, good. What have you learned about adding virtual assistants? Because this is your first experience in this business, adding a virtual assistant on. Like, what advice would you give yourself if you were to go back to the new Brian, the first hire?
What have I learned from this experience? I wish I would have found it sooner.
Yeah.
If we'd come across this, a couple of years sooner, would have avoided some bad hires that we made in order to fill certain positions. But the world also changed. This kind of all happened in a, very key time. I think that we started hiring with you guys before COVID hit, though.
Yep.
So it was just kind of interesting timing, but I think it was nice, as I stated, because they feel like a family. We're having team meetings and they're no different than any one of us. It's not like we're all sitting in a room and then they're on this monitor all by themselves.
Yeah.
It's been really interesting, but it's certainly, I wouldn't shy away from this. I think that it's a great opportunity for anybody who's trying to, really do right by their clients and just, needs a way to be able to afford it.
Yeah.
And some people might say, what, America first, right? But when it comes to people, I think we're all compassionate about this on a large scale. And the Philippines, as it was explained to me, they would have been in, rough shape if it weren't for a company like MyOutDesk putting this stuff together to give them opportunities. And so they're hard workers. I feel like I can trust them. I don't have to worry about whether they're doing their job or not. And that's extremely important to your peace of mind as a business owner.
Yeah. What do you think you've saved using our solution versus hiring local, and not only in turnover, but also in just pure dollars?
Yeah, easily, it would cost us 50% more to do what we're doing with them easily. And turnover wise, their work ethic is tremendous, and some of the talent we found has been, very relieving. And one of the specific positions that actually requires a little bit more specifics to the credit industry, the one guy, I don't know if I'm able to say names or not, but it's just first names. Ray's just been such a beast. I remember when we tested, we decided to do a typing test just to see how they, because we were trying to narrow it down a few people. And this cat came back with crazy typing skills. Like, let's give this a try. And so he was doing a great job in onboarding. And rather than, trying to hire for some other positions, we've just moved him up and had him train under my lead account manager to do some of this other work. And he's caught on very quickly compared to other people we've tried to train even in person. So I'm looking forward to, trying to expand that and find other people that she can count on that can do her job almost as good as she can. She's pretty wicked herself. So, she's never felt like anybody else could do what she does. And, but I think she's finding some of that potential in some of our hires from MyOutDesk, which is exciting.
Yeah. What do you see your future path with us? I mean, as you grow and scale and kind of continue to build efficiencies out and get that Henry Ford kind of conveyor belt, what do you see yourself doing with us in the future?
Yeah, these positions that we're hiring for are ones that we can, can easily duplicate as we get more business. So, just be hired. Right now, we have one person handling all onboarding. There's some slower days, some crazy days where she's losing her mind.
Yeah.
When we need to, we'll just bring on another person that she can work in tandem because we have it all teed up, in a spreadsheet as they come in, so they can just go through and pick them as they can. She'll easily be able to work with people. Add on another billing person to help with Joseph. I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to be super easy to go ahead and duplicate these positions, and they take great notes. All the people we've been hiring are taking great notes. So I actually had Ray go ahead and train on the new onboarding person for the most part. So he
Yeah.
was with us about 6 months. He trained his replacement, moved on up. So it relieves a lot of the burden on us to try and figure that out, because this working remotely thing has been very new for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. So your leverage is getting leverage. I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's super cool. It's been great.
Awesome. Well, man, I just appreciate you sharing. It's going to help other people understand the value of MyOutDesk, and just thanks for coming and talking a little bit about your experience and your company. It's been fun.